In this episode we are taking you to the area around Tomohon. The journey there doesn't begin with a breathtaking view. It begins with a lot of patience. The fastest way to get from Luwuk to Tomohon is by plane. There are no direct flights, so you have to fly from Luwuk via Makassar to Manado and then take about a 1-hour taxi ride. Unfortunately, our very first flight was delayed and we missed our connection to Manado. 8 hours of delay really tested our nerves. By the time we finally reach our destination, it's 1 a.m. The cool night air of the highlands is the first promise of what awaits us here in North Sulawesi. The next morning belongs to the road. Here, a scooter is more than just a transportation. It's our key to freedom. Our first stop is Lake Tondano. Covering around 4,000 hectares, it's the largest lake in the region, framed by mountains that seem to guard its often mirror-smooth surface. Right by the roadside we pause. The cemeteries here tell their own story of Minahasa culture. They are quiet testament to ancestral reverence, blending almost seamlessly into the lush green and landscape. A brief moment of reflection before the journey continues. The earth beneath us is alive. In Ranolewo, hot springs bubble straight out of the ground. A natural thermal bath in the middle of the wilderness. Very few tourists make it here. Tips like this are still mostly shared quietly among backpackers. Tomohon sits at about 1,000 meters above sea level, which gives it a pleasantly mild climate. After the hot and humid days of the past week, the cooler air feels like a blessing. Just a few kilometers further, volcanic power reveals its more aesthetic side, Lake Linow. Due to its high sulfur content, the water changes color depending on the light, from deep blue to a toxic-looking bright green. The hot springs themselves are inaccessible. These shots were only possible thanks to our drone. To end the day, our scooter carries us up to the 1,300 meter high Mount Mahawu. At the end of the road there's a parking lot, and from there the final stretch continues on foot, climbing stairs through dense greenery. The crater rim of this stratovolcano offers one of the most spectacular views over the Minahasa highlands. The rain that had just passed and the low-hanging, torn clouds bathe everything in a mystical atmosphere. Far below lies the sulfur yellow crater lake. As the sun slowly prepares to set on the horizon, we make our way back to our accommodation. There are places that push you beyond your comfort zone. The extreme market in Tomohon is world famous and infamous. Here, traditional Minahasa cuisine meets the curiosity of travelers. It's a place of contrast, loud, intense in smell, and absolutely uncompromising in its reality. Not for the faint-hearted, only a few tourists venture here. What you see is certainly not staged for sensationalists or foreigners, it's simply part of the local culture. You can find everything here, and I really mean everything. We're about to head into the meat section. If you are sensitive, have a weak stomach, or simply don't want to see or hear what's coming, you might want to skip ahead about 1 minute, or at least close your eyes. As you can see, they truly sell almost everything imaginable here. For the first time we could really grasp the size pythons can reach. At the end of 2025, a reticulated python measuring 7.22 meters was found on Sulawesi and made it into the Guinness Book of Records. Reports of even longer snakes, for example 10 meters back in 1912, aren't officially documented, but looking at these images they don't seem impossible. These snakes do occasionally attack humans. In fact, just 1 month before our trip, a 45-year-old woman on Sulawesi was swallowed whole by a 5-meter-long python. But now, back to the more pleasant sides of traveling. Right after visiting the market, we headed to the starting point for our next volcano hike. Even the scooter ride up there was a small challenge. The 1,500 meter high Mount Lokon is one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes. Its crater, located at about 1,140 meters, resembles a lunar landscape of grey ash and rugged rock, stretching roughly 140 by 250 meters. With every step across this unstable terrain, you can feel the raw force of nature, a place that reminds us who's really in charge here. After our descent, rain started to fall and we took a short break at a small restaurant set within beautiful landscape gardens. Once the rain eased up a bit, we rode a few more kilometers to a stunning waterfall hidden in the jungle near the village of Kali, cascading powerfully into the depths below. At first, we couldn't find the entrance to the trail leading to this hidden paradise far from the main roads, so we simply asked a few local teenagers in the village, and they ended up guiding us all the way to the waterfall and took the opportunity to go for a swim themselves. So, deswegen heißt es hier Regenwald.
Also hier kommt mal live aus dem Regenwald. Mit Regenwald.
Ja, dann schaut das Ganze so aus.
Mittlerweile geht's wieder, gerade war nur noch Nebel.
Just before we reached our accommodation, the rain finally stopped, which gave us the chance to visit the Ekayana Pagoda as well. A place of tranquility, whose architecture and peaceful atmosphere provide the perfect closing note to a day filled with extremes. We hope you enjoyed this episode once again. If you'd like to support us in growing this YouTube channel, make sure to leave a like and a subscribe. We also really appreciate your comments. In the next episode, we are taking you to the Bunaken, known for its incredible underwater world, beautiful beaches and breathtaking sunsets. Thanks for watching and see you next week.